Nouns, beyond the person, place, thing. What is a noun? Ooh, me. Go ahead, Johnny. That is so easy. A noun can be a person, like Eric or superhero, a place, such as office or New York City, or a thing, like desk or clothes. Good answer. That is what most people think of when they hear nouns. But nouns can be a little more complicated than just that. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Those idea nouns tend to be the ones that trip us up. Nouns can function in a sentence in many ways, but the most common would be as the subject, the direct object, the indirect object, the predicate nominative, or an object of a preposition. Most nouns are pretty straightforward. For example, in the sentence, the two passengers waited for the airplane, passengers represents people, so that would be a noun. An airplane is obviously a thing, so both of these words are nouns. In the sentence, Mike and Roxanne waved as the plane elevated off the runway. Mike and Roxanne both represent people. Plane, again, would be a thing, and runway could be a location or a place. So all these words would be the nouns in the sentences. All these nouns are concrete nouns and tend to be pretty simple. Let's look at a few of the more complicated aspects of nouns. Here's a sentence for you. Technology causes great frustration for many adults. Okay, so adults is obviously a noun because it represents a person or people. However, this sentence contains other nouns that aren't as easily recognized. So, what are some hints to help us figure this out? Well, first of all, a noun will typically be the subject in the sentence. So, if causes is our verb, what is actually causing something in the sentence? Because that would be the subject. Good, technology. Another part of the sentence that's often a noun is the direct object, or the result of the action of the verb. So, what does technology cause? Frustration. Good. So that would also be a noun. So our nouns are adults, technology, and frustration. Let's take a look at another example. The sound of constant typing drove the irritable teacher crazy. Teacher's probably the only noun here that really stands out. Now let's figure out the rest. In addition to acting as a subject or a complement like the direct object in the last sentence, another common place to find a noun is in a prepositional phrase. In this sentence, of is a preposition, so there should be a noun that goes with it. The sound of what? Typing. Good, since that completes the preposition, that would be the object of the preposition, which is typically going to be a noun. Another way to help you identify nouns if you are stuck, and if finding parts of a sentence maybe isn't quite your thing yet, is to use adjectives to help you. Remember, adjectives are those words that describe nouns. So for instance, constant is an adjective describing typing, and irritable would be describing teacher. Now, obviously not every noun will have an adjective, but the most commonly used adjectives are three little words that always match up with a noun. A, an, and the. Anytime you see one of those words, there has to be a noun nearby that will match up with it. So that trick helps us find the third noun in the sentence, sound. One last important thing to remember when working with parts of speech. Don't assume a word is a certain part of speech. Most words can be several parts of speech. It's important to consider how it's being used in a sentence. Take a look at these three sentences. In each one, there's a form of the word jump. We naturally think of any form of jump as a verb. And in the first sentence, jumped is acting as a verb because it's the action that Mario is doing. But take a look at that second example. My jumping ability began. What is jumping doing in that sentence? It's describing the word ability. Ability is a noun in this sentence, acting as the subject. So jumping must be an adjective. Then in the last sentence, we know is would be a linking verb. That would mean in this case, jumping is the subject of the sentence. And as we just learned, a subject is typically a noun. So in this case, jumping is a noun in the sentence. So again, Always be sure to check how words are being used before just blindly assuming a word is a particular part of speech. Let's recap nouns one last time. So, more than just the basic person, place, or thing, a noun can be a person, place, thing, or idea. Nouns can be used in many ways through a sentence, including most commonly the subject, direct or indirect object, and object of a preposition. Since adjectives modify nouns, use adjectives to your advantage, including those three very common adjectives, a, and the.